I lived in Southwest Florida for about 5 years, and when they would announce that there is a storm brewing out in the Gulf, the entire Southwest Florida community would begin to react and prepare because it's coming. This morning, I want you to recognize that there's a storm coming. In fact, it's already starting to hit land. And I'll explain that more in just a moment. This is the process that I use for working with all the clients that I've ever worked with. And today we're going to focus on the word talent, and I want to tell you why. So, for the last 50 years, by show of hands, how many have heard the comment that the number one reason for turnover in America is people leave their boss, they don't leave companies? How many have heard something like that? Raise your hand if you have, all right? How many? So, that's been true for the last 50 years. My boss is ineffective, I don't like my boss, we don't get along well together, whatever the phraseology might be, the number one reason for turnover in America has been the relationship with your manager until February. The new Gallup research has just come out, and the new number one reason for turnover in America today and in the foreseeable future is lack of training, development, and career growth possibilities for me. Now you might ask, well, what happened over recently that's caused that? One of the large influences has been the number of millennials coming into the workplace. And there are going to be more. By the year 2020, which when I said this a couple years ago, when I was speaking at the Broad School of Management at Michigan State, I was talking about how to recruit and retain millennials. Well, they're here. They're landing on shore. They're in your businesses. And so now the new number one is this. The new number two is paying benefits. Now, your relationship and the quality of leadership in your company is number three, and number four is company culture. That's a big shift. And how many of you right now know other business people or yourself that have trouble finding really good quality talent? Quite a few? Yes. So here's the insight. I spoke at the Grand Rapids event last year. I opened the conference by saying, everybody in Michigan who wants to work is working. And if they're not, you probably don't want them anyway. Now, to say everybody is a little bit of a generic statement, but most of the quality people are working. So it begs the question, if you're going to grow your business, like Jeffrey's been strategically growing Structure Tech, if you're going to grow your business, you're going to need quality talent. So the question becomes, where do you find them? And if you do find them, how do you keep them? And so today I want to talk to you about how to keep them and how to recruit them differently. Because when you're talking to candidates today, unless they have hair the color of mine, they're going to be asking you questions about, so tell me a little bit about career paths in your organization. Tell me about the leadership curriculum you have to develop leaders. Tell me about the training and development opportunities I'm going to get as a frontline associate. They have choices today. So let's make the analogy of referencing real estate. Is this a buyer's market here in southeastern Michigan right now for selling homes, or a seller's market? Seller's market, right? Because prices are up, right? It's a seller's market. It's an employee market right now. People can leave your company and be employed tomorrow for an extra 10 or 20% raise and or signing bonuses. The rules of the game of business have changed, and you don't get a vote. But what you do get is a chance to do something about it if you just knew what to do. And so today I'm going to take you inside of some of the great organizations that I've been a part of, some of the companies that I've helped grow. I'm going to share with you how to take steps to avoid this becoming a crisis in your business. Your employees now, 51% of them are actively, doesn't mean if somebody calls they won't answer the question, because that's why the executive search firm industry is booming. Half of your employees are actively looking for better possibilities, a more healthy culture, a place with less stress, a place where I don't have to work 6-7 days a week and miss my kids' soccer games and so on. that culture item that made the top 4 I just showed with you.
My name is John Carter, and I really enjoyed John's presentation today. I would say the most important thing that I heard is the need to develop your people proactively and give them a process to follow so they can grow in your organization. Keeping that process in place and allowing them to grow on their pace is real critical. I see firsthand people that do leave organizations when they don't have a sense of where they're going in the organization. So that was the thing that resonated the most with me.